Have you ever felt like something is holding you back, but you just can't put your finger on it? You set goals, you work hard, but somehow you're always drained, distracted, and stuck in the same place. What if I told you that the people around you might be the reason why? Not because they openly sabotage you, but because they drain your energy, fill your mind with doubts, and keep you from reaching your full potential. Today we're going to talk about something most people avoid: cutting off fake people. Not just avoiding them, but truly understanding why they're a problem, how to spot them before they do damage, and most importantly, how to remove them from your life without guilt. This isn't about being cold or heartless, it's about survival. It's about protecting your peace, your success, and your future. Because the truth is, if you don't take control of your circle will control you. And it's time to take that power back. Some people drain you without you even realizing it. You spend time with them and walk away feeling exhausted, mentally cluttered, or just off. That's not a coincidence. Some people are like emotional parasites. They latch onto your kindness, your time, and your energy, taking everything they can while giving nothing in return. They might not even do it intentionally, but that doesn't change the damage they cause. If you constantly feel drained, irritated, or second-guessing yourself after being around someone, that's a sign. That's your mind and body telling you something is wrong. Listen to it. Confidence isn't something that disappears overnight. It's chipped away slowly, piece by the wrong people. It starts with small doubts, someone questioning your choices, making subtle negative comments, or making you feel guilty for wanting more. Over time, you stop trusting yourself. You second-guess your decisions. You start shrinking to make others comfortable. And before you know it, you've lost the very thing that makes you powerful: your belief in yourself. If someone in your life constantly makes you feel less than, if they always have a reason why your dreams won't work, understand this: they are not your friend. They are a weight you cannot afford to carry. Some people only show up when they need something. They take your time, your attention, your kindness, but when you need them, they're nowhere to be found. These are emotional vampires. They don't care about your well-being. They care about what you can give them. And the worst part, they make you feel guilty for expecting the same in return. A real relationship, friendship, family, partnership, should be balanced. If you're always the giver and someone else is always the taker, that's not a relationship. That's a transaction, and you deserve better than that. Fake relationships come at a cost most people don't even realize they're paying. Time spent with the wrong people is time taken away from building your future. Energy wasted on unnecessary drama is energy you could use to grow. The mental space taken up by toxic relationships stops you from focusing on your goals. Every moment you invest in someone who doesn't truly care about you is a moment stolen from the life you're meant to live. And the worst part, these people don't even care that they're holding you back. So why should you? Letting go is hard. We hold on to toxic people because we hope they'll change, because we don't want to be alone, because we feel guilty. But here's the truth: holding on hurts more than letting go ever will. The pain of cutting someone off is temporary. The pain of keeping them in your life lasts forever. You have to decide what kind of pain you're willing to endure. One that leads to growth, or one that keeps you stuck. Because make no mistake, there is no in between. You know what's worse than dealing with fake people? Letting them stay in your life when you see the warning signs. But how do you know who's real and who's not? It's simple. Pay attention to their actions, not their words. Fake people are great talkers. They'll tell you they care. They'll make big promises. They'll act supportive until the moment you actually need them. That's when they disappear. A real friend doesn't have to say they have your back. They show it. Watch what people do when you're struggling, when you're winning, and when you set boundaries. That will tell you everything you need to know. One of the biggest signs of a fake person: inconsistency. One day they're supportive, the next they're distant. One moment they act like your best friend, the next they're talking behind your back. You never really know where you stand with them, and that's the problem. Real people are consistent. Their support doesn't waver based on their mood or what they can get from you. If someone in your life constantly leaves you guessing, take that as a sign. They're not real, they're convenient. Actions will always speak louder than words. Fake people love to talk about how much they care, about how loyal they are, about how they'll always be there. But when it's time to prove it, they're nowhere to be found. Real people don't need to convince you of their loyalty. They show it. They check in, they show up, they follow through. If someone's words and actions don't match, trust the actions. The words mean nothing. Some people are experts at twisting situations in their favor. They never take responsibility. They always have an excuse. And somehow, they always make you feel like you're the problem. These are manipulators, and they are dangerous. They make you doubt yourself, question your reality, and feel guilty for things that aren't even your fault. If you always feel like you have to explain yourself, if someone constantly shifts blame onto you, understand this: they're not just toxic, they're playing a game you'll never win. Jealousy isn't always obvious. Sometimes it comes disguised as backhanded compliments, subtle digs, or fake support. Pay attention to the people who seem happy for you, but never actually celebrate you. The ones who get distant when you succeed. The ones who always have something negative to say when you share good news. These people don't want you to win. They want you to stay where you are because your growth makes them uncomfortable. And if someone in your life can't be genuinely happy for you, they have no place in your future. Holding on to the wrong people is costing you more than you realize. It's keeping you from reaching your goals, from building real confidence, from finding true happiness. It's time to make a choice. Will you keep letting fake people take up space in your life, or will you cut them off and make room for something better? The decision is yours. But know this, your future depends on it. And the sooner you choose yourself, the sooner your real life begins. Have you ever wondered why some people drain your energy instead of lifting you up? Why certain relationships leave you feeling exhausted, anxious, or even doubting yourself? It's not in your head, it's real. Fake people are like silent poison, slowly, quietly, and steadily eroding your peace, your confidence, and your future. You don't always see it happening, but you feel the weight of it every day. These aren't just bad friendships, they're dangerous. They shape how you see yourself. They make you question your worth. They keep you from becoming the person you were meant to be. And if you don't take control, they will keep pulling you down until there's nothing left. Today we're going to expose this hidden danger. I'm going to show you exactly how fake people drain your energy, damage your self-worth, and set you back years without you even realizing it. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how to break free, how to recognize the warning signs before it's too late, how to protect yourself, your peace, and your future. This isn't just about removing negativity, it's about saving yourself. Because the truth is, you can't afford to let fake people stay in your life any longer. They don't just waste your time, they cost you your happiness. They don't just hold you back, they destroy your potential. And today we're putting an end to it. Let's start by looking at the hidden damage they cause, the toll they take on your emotions, your mindset, and your well-being. Actions will always speak louder than words. Fake people love to talk about how much they care, about how loyal they are, about how they'll always be there. But when it's time to prove it, they're nowhere to be found. Real people don't need to convince you of their loyalty. They show it. They check in, they show up, they follow through. If someone's words and actions don't match, trust the actions. The words mean nothing. Some people are experts at twisting situations in their favor. They never take responsibility. They always have an excuse. And somehow they always make you feel like you're the problem. These are manipulators, and they are dangerous. They make you doubt yourself, question your reality, and feel guilty for things that aren't even your fault. If you always feel like you have to explain yourself, if someone constantly shifts blame onto you, understand this, they're not just toxic. They're playing a game you'll never win. Jealousy isn't always obvious. Sometimes it comes disguised as backhanded compliments, subtle digs, or fake support. Pay attention to the people who seem happy for you but never actually celebrate you. The ones who get distant when you succeed. The ones who always have something negative to say when you share good news. These people don't want you to win. They want you to stay where you are because your growth makes them uncomfortable. And if someone in your life can't be genuinely happy for you, they have no place in your future. Holding on to the wrong people is costing you more than you realize. It's keeping you from reaching your goals, from building real confidence, from finding true happiness. It's time to make a choice. Will you keep letting fake people take up space in your life, or will you cut them off and make room for something better? The decision is yours. But know this, your future depends on it. And the sooner you choose yourself, the sooner your real life begins. Have you ever wondered why some people drain your energy instead of lifting you up? Why certain relationships leave you feeling exhausted, anxious, or even doubting yourself? It's not in your head, it's real. Fake people are like silent poison, slowly, quietly, and steadily eroding your peace, your confidence, and your future. You don't always see it happening, but you feel the weight of it every day. These aren't just bad friendships, they're dangerous. They shape how you see yourself. They make you question your worth. They keep you from becoming the person you were meant to be. And if you don't take control, they will keep pulling you down until there's nothing left. Today, we're going to expose this hidden danger. I'm going to show you exactly how fake people drain your energy, damage your self-worth, and set you back years without you even realizing it. But more importantly, I'm going to show you how to break free, how to recognize the warning signs before it's too late, how to protect yourself, your peace, and your future. This isn't just about removing negativity, it's about saving yourself. Because the truth is, you can't afford to let fake people stay in your life any longer. They don't just waste your time, they cost you your happiness. They don't just hold you back, they destroy your potential. And today we're putting an end to it. Let's start by looking at the hidden damage they cause, the toll they take on your emotions, your mindset, and your well-being. Fake people don't hurt you in obvious ways. They don't walk in and announce their bad intentions. Instead, they chip away at you piece by piece. It starts small, maybe a comment that makes you second-guess yourself, an expectation that drains your energy, or a situation where you feel like you're always giving but never receiving. You brush it off. You tell yourself it's nothing, but over time, those little moments add up. You start doubting yourself. You feel anxious around them, but you can't explain why. You replay conversations in your head wondering if you did something wrong. You find yourself walking on eggshells trying to keep the peace. And before you know it, you're emotionally exhausted. That's the first sign. Fake people leave you drained, not empowered. A real friend leaves you feeling supported. A fake one leaves you feeling used. And it's not just about exhaustion, it's about how they twist your thinking. They make you feel guilty for setting boundaries. The moment you stand up for yourself, they act like you're the bad guy. They play the victim, turn others against you, or make you question if you're being unreasonable. But here's the truth. Someone who truly cares about you will never make you feel bad for protecting your peace. Then comes the comparison. Fake people always want to keep you in a place of doubt. They act supportive, but deep down, they don't want to see you do better than them. They downplay your successes. They remind you of your past mistakes. They make little remarks that seem harmless, but slowly chip away at your confidence. Are you sure you can handle that? Wow, must be nice to have things so easy. You're lucky, not everyone gets those chances. It's subtle, but it's designed to make you question yourself. And let's not forget the worst kind, the ones who only show up when they need something. When they need support, a favor, or someone to listen. They know exactly where to find you. But when you need them, suddenly they're busy. They disappear. They give you excuses. Because to them, you're not a friend, you're a resource. And the moment you stop giving, they'll move on to someone else. This is the cycle. Fake people take and take until there's nothing left of you. And if you don't recognize it now, it will cost you years of wasted energy. Think about it. How much time have you spent worrying about someone who wouldn't do the same for you? How many opportunities have you missed because you were too distracted by people who didn't deserve your attention? How many times have you stayed in toxic relationships because you felt obligated, not because you were truly valued? And if you think it's not serious, let me give you some real-life examples of how this kind of manipulation can set you back. Maybe you have a friend who keeps you stuck. Someone who always needs help, always has drama, always keeps you tangled in their problems. You think you're being loyal, but in reality, you're trapped. While you're carrying their burdens, they're holding you back from your own growth. Or maybe it's the workplace. You have a colleague who smiles in your face, but secretly undermines you. They take credit for your ideas. They spread rumors. They make sure you never quite get ahead. And while you're trying to be the bigger person, they're climbing over you to get what they want. And sometimes the hardest truth to face is that the toxicity is in your own family. A relative who constantly belittles you, someone who manipulates with guilt, someone who expects loyalty, but never gives it in return. And you hold on because they're family, even though deep down you know they are breaking you. Here's what you need to understand. The people you surround yourself with will shape your future. And fake people will make sure that future is filled with doubt, stress, and lost time. You cannot fix them. You cannot change them. But you can save yourself. And that starts by recognizing the signs and deciding once and for all that you deserve better. Have you ever trusted someone only to realize later they were never really on your side? Have you ever confided in someone thinking they had your back, only to discover they were the first to betray you? Fake people don't come with warning labels. They don't introduce themselves as dishonest, two-faced, or manipulative. They blend in, they smile, they act like they care. But if you look closely, the signs are always there. They drain your energy, they create stress, they play with your emotions, leaving you questioning yourself. And the longer you keep them in your life, the harder it becomes to see the damage they're doing. But today, that changes, because I'm going to show you exactly how to recognize the red flags before they take advantage of you. No more second guessing, no more wasted time, no more getting blindsided by people who never had good intentions in the first place. The warning signs are always there, you just need to know what to look for. The first red flag is inconsistency. Fake people are never the same person twice. One day they're supportive, the next day they're distant. They act like your best friend when they need something, but the moment they get it, they disappear. Real people are steady. Their kindness isn't based on what they can get from you. But fake people, their loyalty is temporary. It changes depending on what serves them best. Then there's the backhanded support. They give you compliments that don't feel like compliments. Wow, I didn't expect you to do that well. It must be nice to be lucky. I could never pull that off, but you make it work somehow. It's their way of keeping you small. They want to sound supportive, but deep down, they don't want you to succeed. And if you ever call them out, they'll act like you're overreacting. Relax, I was just joking. No, they weren't. Another sign, they disappear when you need them the most. When life is easy, they're right there with you. But when things get tough, suddenly, they're too busy, too distant, too unavailable. A real friend stands by you in hard times. A fake one only sticks around when it's convenient. And let's talk about gossip. If they constantly talk badly about other people, trust me, they're talking about you too. Don't think for a second that you're the exception. If they betray others, they will betray you. It's only a matter of time, but the biggest, most toxic sign, emotional manipulation. Fake people make their problems your fault. If they hurt you, somehow you end up apologizing. If they let you down, they make you feel guilty for expecting too much. It's never their responsibility. it's always yours. And if you fall for it, you'll spend your life carrying weight that was never yours to carry. So how do you protect yourself? By understanding one simple truth: trust isn't about words, it's about actions. A fake person will say all the right things, they'll promise to change, they'll swear they didn't mean to hurt you, they'll make big speeches about loyalty and friendship. But words mean nothing without actions to back them up. Look at their patterns, not their promises. Do they follow through, or do they always have excuses? Do they show up when it matters, or do they only come around when it benefits them? People can fake words, they can fake emotions, but they can't fake consistency. Then there's the illusion of loyalty. Some people pretend to care just enough to keep you around, but not enough to actually be there for you. They'll make sure you never walk away completely, but they'll never truly invest in the relationship. They keep you hanging on, just in case they need something later. And if you want to see someone's true nature, pay attention to the small things. Do they lie about things that don't even matter? Do they change their story depending on who they're talking to? Because if they lie about the little things, what do you think they'll do when it really counts? But why do fake people behave this way? What's driving them to act like this? It starts with insecurity. Deep down, fake people don't feel good about themselves. They don't believe they're enough, so they pretend to be something they're not. They tear others down to feel better about themselves. They manipulate because they're afraid of being abandoned. It's all about control. Then there's power. Some people need to keep you off balance so they can feel superior. They make you question yourself. They keep you guessing. They create problems just so they can feel like the ones with all the answers. And the biggest reason? They're terrified of being exposed. Fake people know deep down that they're not as good as they pretend to be. That's why they get angry when you start seeing through them. That's why they lash out when you stop playing along. Because once you stop falling for their games, they lose control over you. So now the question is, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Because knowing the signs is one thing, but cutting fake people out of your life, that's where the real power is. Have you ever felt like you're holding on to people who no longer bring value to your life? You know something is off. You feel drained, unappreciated, or even disrespected. But instead of walking away, you make excuses for them. You tell yourself they'll change. You convince yourself that cutting ties is too harsh. So you stay, you tolerate. And little by little, they chip away at your confidence, your happiness, and your peace of mind. There comes a moment when you have to ask yourself, is this connection lifting me up or weighing me down? Because the truth is, not everyone is meant to stay in your life. Some people only bring negativity, drama, and self-doubt. And the longer you keep them around, the more damage they do. You see the signs, you feel the shift. They only reach out when they need something. They downplay your successes but expect you to celebrate theirs. They gossip, lie, or drain you with their constant negativity. But still, you hold on. Why? Because cutting ties feels hard. Because you don't want to be the bad guy. Because you think walking away means you're giving up on them. But what if staying is what's really hurting you? The price of keeping fake people in your life is high. You waste energy on people who wouldn't do the same for you. You lower your standards just to keep the peace. You miss out on real connections because you're too busy holding on to the wrong ones. And worst of all, you start to lose yourself. The version of you that once had confidence, excitement, and hope begins to fade, all because you were afraid to let go. So how do you walk away without guilt? How do you remove toxic people from your life without feeling like you're doing something wrong? It starts with understanding that not every relationship is meant to last forever. Some people are only in your life for a season, and when that season is over, you have to be willing to move on. There are different ways to distance yourself, and not every situation calls for the same approach. Some people need a gradual fade. You stop reaching out, you respond less, you let the connection die naturally without creating unnecessary conflict. Other times you need a clean break. You make a decision, set your boundaries, and walk away completely. No explanation, no second chances. Setting boundaries is key. Maybe that means spending less time with them. Maybe it means limiting what you share, or maybe it means cutting them off entirely. The point is, you don't owe anyone unlimited access to you, especially if they take more than they give. The hardest part is dealing with guilt. You've been conditioned to think that being a good person means being available to everyone. But being kind doesn't mean being a doormat. Protecting your peace doesn't make you selfish. You are not responsible for fixing people who refuse to change. You are not required to keep people in your life just because of history. If someone consistently brings stress, doubt, or negativity, you have every right to walk away. What do you say when it's time to cut ties? Keep it simple. You don't need to justify, argue, or explain yourself. If they've shown you through their actions that they don't respect you, they don't deserve a long conversation. A short, clear message is enough. Some people will try to pull you back in. They'll act like they don't understand why you're walking away. They'll play the victim. They'll accuse you of being the problem. This is manipulation. If someone cared about your feelings, they wouldn't have put you in a position where you had to walk away in the first place. The best way to win is not to engage. Some people thrive on conflict. They want to argue. They want to pull you into an emotional fight. The moment you respond, they have control. Silence is your greatest power. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them twist the story. The people who matter will know the truth. Walking away is never easy, especially when you've known someone for a long time. But what's harder is staying in a space that stunts your growth. You might feel lonely at first. You might question if you made the right decision. But remember this, peace feels strange when you're used to chaos. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean it's wrong. Over time, you'll notice something incredible. When you remove the wrong people, you make space for the right ones. You attract people who uplift you, people who celebrate your wins without jealousy, people who don't make you question your worth. But that can't happen if you're still holding on to those who were never meant to stay. Letting go isn't about anger. It's not about proving a point. It's about protecting your peace and choosing to prioritize your own growth. You owe it to yourself to be surrounded by people who bring value to your life, not take from it. So if you're holding on to a relationship that's draining you, ask yourself, is this worth my energy, or is it time to walk away? Look around at the people in your life, the ones you spend the most time with, the ones you call when something goes wrong, the ones you trust with your thoughts, your dreams, and your struggles. Now ask yourself, are they pushing you forward or are they holding you back? Are they lifting you higher or are they keeping you stuck? The people around you shape your mindset, your habits, and your future. If you surround yourself with people who are driven, supportive, and positive, you will absorb those same qualities. But if you stay around negativity, drama, and small thinking, you will struggle to break free from it. Energy is contagious, and your circle is either fueling your growth or draining it. This is why quality matters more than quantity. You don't need a crowd. You don't need to be surrounded by people just to avoid feeling alone. A few strong, genuine connections will always be more valuable than a room full of fake ones. Too many people stay in friendships out of habit, even when those relationships no longer serve them. They hold on to people who don't truly support them, just because they've known them for years. But time does not equal loyalty. Fake connections are dangerous because they give you a false sense of security. You think you have support, but when life gets hard, you realize you don't. You assume people have your back, but when you start growing, they get distant. These relationships keep you small. They keep you from leveling up because they thrive on comfort, not growth. And if you're not careful, they will trap you in the same patterns, the same struggles, and the same version of yourself that you're trying to outgrow. If you want better people in your life, you have to start by becoming a better version of yourself. You attract what you are. If you want strong, supportive, ambitious people around you, you have to show up with that same energy. If you want people who push you to grow, you have to be willing to grow. Too many people search for good friendships without working on themselves first. But relationships are a reflection. The kind of energy you put out is the kind of energy you will bring in. It's also important to know the difference between real connections and those that only look good on the surface. Real friendships feel safe. You can be yourself without fear of judgment. You can share your wins without worrying about hidden jealousy. You can count on them when things go wrong, not just when everything is going well. Fake connections, on the other hand, are built on convenience. They are there when it's easy but disappear when it's hard. Pay attention to the signs. Do they listen, or do they just wait for their turn to talk? Do they support your growth, or do they try to keep you the same? Do they celebrate your success, or do they act distant when you're doing well? A real friend will challenge you to be better. A fake one will secretly hope you fail. You also have to understand the power of giving before expecting. Too many people focus on what they can get from relationships instead of what they can give. They want support but never offer it. They want loyalty but don't show it. Relationships are built on exchange. You cannot take from people without bringing something valuable in return. Be the type of friend you want to have. Be reliable, be honest, be supportive, and most importantly, be the kind of person who makes others feel valued. If you want to find strong, growth-minded people, you have to put yourself in the right environments. You're not going to meet them sitting at home. You won't find them in the same toxic spaces you've been trying to leave behind. Step outside your comfort zone. Go to events, workshops, and communities where people are working towards something bigger. Join groups that align with your values and goals. When you put yourself in the right spaces, you increase your chances of meeting the right people. Starting over isn't easy. If you've cut ties with the wrong people, you might feel like you're rebuilding from scratch. But that's not a bad thing. It's an opportunity. You now have the chance to build a circle that reflects the person you're becoming, not the person you used to be. Be intentional about who you let in. Seek friendships that challenge you, inspire you, and make you want to be better. Shallow friendships won't bring you peace. You don't need people who only check in when they're bored. You need people who see you, understand you, and truly care. Deep connections take effort. They require honesty, vulnerability, and trust. You have to be willing to have real conversations, not just small talk. You have to invest time in people who matter, instead of spreading yourself thin over meaningless connections. Boundaries are key. You cannot maintain strong relationships without them. If someone disrespects your time, your values, or your energy, you have to be willing to speak up. Protecting your peace is not selfish. The right people will respect your boundaries. The wrong ones will test them. And the way they respond will tell you everything you need to know. Building strong relationships is not just about finding the right people. It's about keeping them. Loyalty, trust, and support go both ways. If you want real friendships, you have to be willing to nurture them. Stay in touch. Show up when it matters. Be there, not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. Strong friendships are built in the moments when things aren't perfect. At the end of the day, your circle is your foundation. It influences your mindset, your confidence, and the direction of your life. If the people around you are not pushing you forward, they are pulling you back. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who believe in you, and who make you want to be better. Because the right people will change your life. Look at the way you treat yourself, the way you talk to yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you let others speak to you. That is where respect starts. If you don't respect yourself, no one else will. You set the standard, you decide what is acceptable in your life, and people will always reflect the energy you allow. If you shrink yourself to make others comfortable, they will never see your full value. If you tolerate disrespect, it will keep happening. If you settle for less than you deserve, people will assume that's all you want. Every relationship you have is a mirror. It shows you how much or how little you value yourself. And when you lack self-respect, you attract relationships that reinforce that. Toxic friendships, one-sided love, people who take more than they give. They don't show up by accident. They show up because you let them. The good news is you have the power to change it. The moment you decide to raise your standards, everything shifts. But it starts with you. How do you speak to yourself? Do you encourage yourself, or do you tear yourself down? How do you treat yourself? Do you prioritize your needs, or do you always put yourself last? The way you handle yourself teaches the world how to handle you. If you don't value yourself, don't expect anyone else to. Your mindset is everything. It controls how you carry yourself, how you interact with others, and what kind of people you attract. If you don't believe in yourself, you will always look for others to do it for you. You will seek approval, chase attention, and settle for people who don't respect you because you think that's the best you can get. That is how fake people find their way into your life. Stop looking for validation in the wrong places. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't need their approval. You need to believe in yourself first. Confidence is quiet, but it speaks louder than words. It's not about arrogance. It's not about proving anything. It's about knowing your worth so deeply that no one can shake it. When you carry yourself with that kind of certainty, the right people will take notice, and the wrong ones will fall away. Real people gravitate towards strength. They respect those who stand firm in who they are. If you are constantly adjusting yourself to please others, they will never take you seriously. They will see you as someone who bends, who compromises too much, who doesn't stand on solid ground. But when you set the tone, when you establish who you are and refuse to change it for anyone, you command respect without saying a word. Boundaries are the foundation of self-respect. Without them, people will walk all over you. What you allow is what continues. If you tolerate disrespect once, you're inviting it to happen again. If you never say no, people will assume you are always available. If you don't protect your time, others will waste it. It's not enough to set boundaries. You have to enforce them. And that means being willing to walk away when they are crossed. Too many people set limits but are afraid to follow through. They worry about losing people. They feel guilty for saying no, but the truth is, if someone leaves because you set a boundary, they were only there for their own benefit. They weren't respecting you, they were using you. Choosing respect over approval is freedom. When you stop chasing acceptance, you gain control of your life. You stop explaining yourself. You stop feeling bad for protecting your peace. You stop worrying about what others think because you know your worth. And when you move with that kind of self-respect, the world responds. The right people show up, the wrong ones disappear, and you finally step into the version of yourself that you were meant to be. Look at the people around you. Are they lifting you up or holding you back? Are they adding to your life, or are they draining your energy? Some people are like dead weight, slowing you down without you even realizing it. You carry their negativity, their drama, their selfishness, and it leaves you exhausted. You weren't meant to live like that. You weren't meant to spend your life walking on eggshells, explaining yourself or fixing other people's problems while your own dreams sit on the back burner. The moment you decide to let go of the people who don't respect you, who don't support you, who only take and never give, that's the moment everything changes. When you remove the wrong people, you gain something priceless: peace. Your mind becomes clear. You stop second-guessing yourself. You start making decisions based on what's best for you, not what keeps others comfortable. Confidence replaces doubt. Energy replaces exhaustion. Instead of feeling stuck in the same old cycle of drama and disappointment, you finally have the space to grow. Taking back your peace means taking back control. You stop living on other people's terms. You stop chasing approval. You stop settling. The chaos fades, and for the first time you see just how powerful you can be when you're not carrying the weight of people who were never meant to stay. Real success isn't built on chaos. It's built on peace. When you're constantly caught up in negativity, you can't focus. When you're always dealing with someone else's drama, you can't move forward. Success requires a strong foundation, and that foundation is peace. You build a life where toxicity can't survive by setting standards that protect your time, energy, and emotions. You decide what you allow. You decide what you tolerate. And when you stop giving space to negativity, you create room for real connections, real success, and real happiness. Emotional independence is power. When you stop depending on others for happiness, approval, or direction, you become unstoppable. You don't need people who drain you. You don't need their validation. You need to trust yourself. Stand on your own 2 feet. Build a life where your peace isn't at the mercy of someone else's mood. That is real freedom. The people around you shape your future. If you surround yourself with lazy people, you will become lazy. If you surround yourself with small-minded people, your world will stay small. But if you choose people who inspire you, who push you, who bring out your best, you will rise to that level. If you want to attract strong, positive, successful people, start by becoming one yourself. Live at a higher standard. Protect your energy. Stop entertaining nonsense. The right people will recognize that. They will respect it. And the wrong ones will disappear because they can't survive in the world you're creating. Letting go of the wrong people isn't easy. It can be painful, but it is necessary. Because the first step to becoming unstoppable is making sure nothing and no one is holding you back.